This phone has been broken for almost a year now, and according to the internet, it was economically dead. Repair shops said the screen was gone. Forums said I have to replace the AMOLED, but the parts would cost me more than the phone is worth. So I did what any rational engineer would do. I ignored all of them, and I tried to fix it for $15. And somehow, that's exactly what worked. For context, this is my old Samsung Galaxy S20. I've been using it since launch in 2020. This poor thing has been through a lot of stuff. The back glass shattered. No idea how. Possibly dropped a dumbbell on it at the gym. Probably deserved it. Battery degraded over time. Very typical. The USB-C port slowly died, so I switched to wireless charging. Modern problems require insufficient solutions, right? And then one day, randomly, the screen went bright green. Not dim, not flickering, not cracked. Just radioactive. Nothing worked. Restarts, taps, nothing. I didn't have the warranty anymore, so I just accepted it. It was dead, and it's been sitting in a drawer ever since. I'm currently using the older Samsung Galaxy S10e, which, by the way, is where Samsung peaked in my opinion. Flat display, compact, perfect size. I might make a separate video about this goated device. So technically, I don't really need this S20, but this thing still has a Snapdragon 865, 8 gigs of RAM, 64 megapixel camera, and 8K video. It's more powerful than the laptop I used in university, and I'm supposed to throw it away? That didn't sit right with me. This isn't just a phone, it's a 5nm compute device with better cameras than some entry-level DSLRs, and it's rotting in a drawer. No. Now let's talk economics. Why am I not fixing everything? A replacement AMOLED screen sits between $150 and $200, depending where you are. A battery would be between $25 and $30. A USB-C daughterboard between $15 and $20. A back glass between $10 and $20. So the total would be between $200 and $215 parts alone. And that's assuming you don't mess up. Meanwhile, a fully refurbished S20 costs between $180 and $220 online. I would literally spend more repairing it than replacing it. And that's not an accident. The system is structured this way. Repair is inconvenient, parts are expensive, labor is priced high. Replacement is positioned as rational. So I made a strategic decision. I won't restore it. I'll repurpose it. What's actually the minimum I need to make it useful? Screen? That's too expensive. I could mirror the output. Battery? That's optional. I can keep it plugged in. USB-C? Well, that's essential. The back glass? Well, I don't really need it, but it's cheap and I don't want glass fragments everywhere. So I ordered the cheapest USB daughterboard and back cover I could find. Total investment? About $25. So what's the plan? What am I building? Well, I've recently been getting into filmmaking, and the S20 actually has 4K 60fps, 8K 24fps, optical image stabilization, super steady mode, and a 64 megapixel sensor with 3 times hybrid zoom. On paper, that's still very impressive, not gonna lie. So the idea is to mount it on a tripod, control it externally by using Samsung DeX or screen mirroring, and turn it into a dedicated cinema rig for $25. But beyond that, I've built PCs, installed custom ROMs, but I've never opened a phone yet. And as someone who works in tech, that felt kinda wrong. Time to open it. I don't know about you guys, but I really love looking at tech. Just look at this. Isn't it sexy? Alright, let's fix up this bad boy. So the moment of truth. I plug it in, USB-C works. Good. I connect the dongle, HDMI out. Samsung DeX launches. Which, by the way, is one of the most underrated features ever shipped on a smartphone. It literally turns your phone into a desktop OS. That's crazy to me. So now I have a mouse, keyboard, external display, and a fully functional compute device for $25. But then, the next morning I pick up the phone, and the display is just working perfectly. For a year I believed the AMOLED panel was dead. Forums said replace it, repair advice said replace it, the economic model said replace it. The fix? A $15 component and reseating some connectors? That's so silly. But it has reminded me of something. As a software engineer, I don't start with worst case assumptions. So I came up with 4 hypotheses. My hypothesis number 1 was an AMOLED failure. The cost would be $200. Risk? High. The probability? Medium. The hypothesis number 2 would be a loose connector due to the impact. Cost? $0 because I just have to reseat them. Risk? Low. And probability, I'd say medium. Hypothesis 3. Power delivery instability. Cost? I'd say about $15. Risk? That's quite low. And probability, I don't know, unknown, but plausible. And finally, hypothesis number 4. Firmware corruption. The cost would be 0, again, risk quite low, and probability quite low too. So I use the logic for coding. You don't rewrite the entire codebase when there's a bug, right? You test the cheapest variable first. So I combined fixes. I replaced the USB board and reseated connectors. 2 hypotheses in 1 repair session. So what actually fixed it? Honestly, I don't know. Like my code, sometimes it just works and I don't know why. And that's okay. It was either a loosened ribbon cable or power instability or both. I don't know. But here's the real insight. Repair shops optimize for margin, not root cause analysis. If I were to replace it at a repair shop, they would replace my screen, right? Because it's profitable. Reseating a cable is not. They wouldn't have done that. This reinforced something powerful. Hardware is not magic. It's physical logic, just like code. And the same debugging process applies. Reproduce the issue, form hypotheses, eliminate variables, start cheap, and iterate. Most people treat hardware as a black box. Works, doesn't work, replace. But it's just systems and dependencies, just like code. And you don't need a lab. I just used a hairdryer, a screwdriver, and a plastic pick. That's it. Now I have a fully functional S20. The options are to either resell it, which is boring, not gonna do that. I could use it as a dedicated video camera. That was my initial plan. I could use it as a dev device. Could install a custom ROM playground. I could either use it as a dashcam, security cam, media server, portable Linux machine, anything. When you stop seeing it as a phone and start seeing it as a small computer with excellent cameras, possibilities multiply. So here's what I learned. We've been trained to think hardware has an expiration date. But most devices don't die. They just become economically inconvenient. Big tech doesn't need to force you to upgrade. They just need to make the repair slightly irrational. Slightly expensive, slightly annoying, slightly risky, and you'll replace it yourself. This phone was literally one $15 component away from the trash. And for a year I believed it. The real skill isn't soldering or knowing how to open a phone. Even a newbie as me can do that. It's refusing to accept it's dead without testing. So before you upgrade, open it, debug it, understand it. Because sometimes the difference between e-waste and a fully functional device is just a screwdriver and a little bit of curiosity.